Hey guys, Courtney Epps here, and I'm so excited to share with you another edition of What's Your Plan B and why you would be brain dead not to own a home based business. And so I've got Ralph here today, and welcome, Ralph. I'm so thankful that you're here today with us. And I just want you to give a little background about yourself, why you got involved in the network marketing world, and what you did before, and just, tell us anything you want to tell us about you.
All right, awesome. I appreciate obviously having me on. I'm always excited, obviously, to share my story with people because it's very inspiring. And I think from the business world, a lot of business owners now are looking at network marketing as obviously a definite option for them. So my story is back in 2007. I've been in traditional business prior to getting involved in network marketing in '09 for about 17 years. Did everything from liquor stores, car washes, restaurants, bars, and lounges. Did extremely well. I'm not going to lie to you, but my downfall is I also worked 80, 90 hours a week, meaning all the weight of the world landed on my shoulders. Now, what happened is at the time in 2007, I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate, we had that recession back in '07. And I had two successful businesses prior to that recession that I recently got into. And then all of a sudden, within 6 months, dead halt. Business just totally slowed down to the point where I wasn't making any money whatsoever. I was actually losing money in my traditional brick and mortar business. That for 2 years, I didn't have a solution. All right. So from '07 to 2009, I basically in my own household went into a recession, meaning I wasn't able to pay my mortgage, car payments, kids' tuition bills, utility bills. It became really, really difficult until that one day, right? Somebody reached out to me. And you have to keep in mind that when you come from traditional brick and mortar business, especially when you have parents that have taught you that philosophy and probably their grandparents and my grandparents and so on, that's all I knew, brick and mortar. Until that one day somebody reached out to me and says, "Hey, Ralph, I want you to take a look at this business model. I don't understand it," because he was also new with it, right? So it was like, Cheech and Chong, right? So the thing is I said, okay, how are you going to show me this business? Well, back then we didn't have Zoom, we didn't have StreamYard, so many different levels of technology and platforms. So I went to a home meeting, and there was a speaker there, and he started drawing circles on the board and showing me all these wonderful things and how much money you can make. And I'm like, wow, this sounds interesting. But here's the interesting thing. I didn't get into the business of network marketing specifically to make thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. I didn't believe it, to be honest with you. I got in just for the sole purpose to pay my utility bills. Like if I said, if I can just make $500 to $1,000 a month, that would be pretty cool. But that's really what I thought it was all about, like maybe a side income and things like that. So long story short, within 6 months, I managed through hard work and perseverance. And I didn't know what hard work and perseverance was because I didn't really tap into personal development at all, right? I took what I knew as a traditional business owner and I basically adopted it into network marketing. And what I had was the boss mentality rather than the leadership mentality. I don't know if people can relate to that, but hopefully you can. And I struggled, right? Because I was basically telling people what to do rather than leading them. But I still managed to earn residually about $600 a month, 6 months into network marketing. And I thought that was fantastic. Now, here's the interesting thing. Within the 6 month period of time, the company that I used to promote with had this magnificent, their annual convention. And it was about an hour and a half away from my house. And I went there thinking that I was one of the top income earners, right? Because I'm like, I worked so hard, right? And I'm walking in there and they have like 1,500, 2,000 people in a room. And it was assigned seating. And I was like on the last row, like in the middle. And I'm like, maybe they made a mistake, right? Like, why did they put me all the way back there? And I'm like, wait, this is crazy. So I'm looking at the front row and everybody's wearing their sports jackets, dressed up nice. And I'm going in there like, wow. And what I realized very, very quickly, the 2 days that they had this conference, number one, I liked the vibe, right? I liked the culture. I really did. And number two, I realized that I wasn't making the money that I should be making in this industry because of the lack of belief, the lack of mindset, the lack of personal development. So what I did, and this is an extremely important message for many, many people, is I latched on to some of the top income earners in the company, specifically the number 2 income earner in the company. Him and I just clicked. And I asked him, because I heard how much money he was making 9 months into the business. I'm in 6 months. He was making 1,000 times what I was doing, right? So slowly but surely, really getting involved in personal development, leadership, and changing my level of mindset. And I'll tell you, 3 months after really going and hedging forward and doing this business properly, my income went to in excess of $8,000 a month from $600. And then, long story short, I've made millions of dollars in this industry, and I love it. And I love it. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I love it. And
Yeah.
so, and that's the great thing. I think so many people get involved in network marketing and they don't believe it's real, but they take a leap of faith and they say, you know what, if I could make a couple $100, that would be great. And
Right.
one of the things that I think hit me the hardest was it just hit me recently, but it was 3.5 years ago. I joined my last network marketing business. And I'll tell you, I'm not in network marketing anymore. So at all, I am a tax strategist. What I do on a daily basis is free up money for people. But here's the thing. I work alongside speakers, coaches, trainers, and network marketers, and I free up money so that people can see that they have the opportunity to get involved in especially a network marketing industry, something that allows them not only to make money, but also to save money along the way in taxes. And so the last network marketing company I got involved in, guys, I was doing network marketing most of the time. And January through April, I would do taxes because I was in a place in my mindset that I lost a business 10 years ago, just kind of like you. But I exploded in 7 and 8 and 9. Like my business was killing it. And I had about 3,500 clients, and I was going through some cash flow issues and some personal issues. And I put my business up for sale 10 years ago. And the guy I sold it to quit paying me after 4 months. And so I was $250,000 in debt. I had a non-compete in the entire state of South Carolina for anything I knew how to do, which is insurance and accounting. And I was broken. And so my parents got me involved in network marketing. Long story short, I built that company to the top 1%. And then I had some issues with my upline and decided to leave that company. And when I went to leave that company, because I'd put all my time and effort and focus into never building my accounting practice because I wanted to do network marketing full time. And here's the thing, I went to join another company and I had $421 is what it would cost to get started. And I had $428 in my bank account.
Wow.
And here's the thing, as an entrepreneur, just like you with you, it was like, I have to make a way. I have to make a way to make this work, right? But as a W-2 employee, which is a salaried employee, they have a different kind of mindset. And to them, it's like, there's no way I can do this unless I can guarantee myself that I'm going to get this money back. And so there's a different world and a different paradigm of where a business owner sits or an entrepreneur sits and where a W-2 employee sits. And here's what I would love to do for the audience that we're talking to today, help you understand that the guarantee is tax savings along the way. You might make some money, but here's what I want you to understand is if you continue down the same path that you're on and just stay as a W-2 employee, you can't ever get ahead. And the reason why is because you're working off of something called 50% money. And if you don't believe me, you can actually combine your taxes together. If you take all of your taxes, your property taxes, sales tax, your income taxes, your FICA taxes, and add all those together, you're going to pay anywhere between 40 and 50% of every dollar you make in taxes. And taxes are our number one expense in our lifetime if you are an employee. And the reason why, I'll explain it. You can actually combine your food, clothing, housing, and transportation. All 4 of those combined are actually less than taxes. Okay. So how do we fix this problem? How do we go from not having enough to having abundance, which is, I think, is where, Ralph is today. And, thank God, he was a entrepreneur first. And a lot of people go from being a W-2 employee to being a home-based business owner. Fortunately, Ralph was a little bit of a step ahead because it's easier to change the mindset a little bit to go from traditional business to home-based business. But if you understand that there are two tax systems in this country, there's one that was created to steal wealth away, and that is the W-2 employee system. And I'll explain why that is in just a second. But the second was created for the business owner. And the business owner, we generate economy. So me and Ralph, like, we're doing two completely different things, but I'm out selling tax strategy all day long and teaching people and promoting that so that I get more clients. And then Ralph is out selling his product or service. And that's the way business owners work. So we're constantly generating more and more money into the economy. And we're also spending a lot of money because we're spending money on our business in order to grow it. And then on top of that, Congress hopes that we will hire employees. So, I have a personal assistant, I have a nanny, I have a housekeeper, I have 25 employees. So, I've done a really good job. Congress is happy and rewards me for that and allows me massive tax deductions. And so as a business owner, we make our money. We have our, we're able to provide most of our needs, and our wants are actually become tax deductible. And then what's left over is what we pay taxes on. Well, here's the problem. Somebody has to pay taxes. Right. So the taxes trickle down to the W-2 employee, and the W-2 employee ends up paying the lion's share of the taxes. And if you understand that concept, you have to find a way to get involved in some sort of home-based business, which is why I say you would be brain dead not on a home-based business. So in your situation, which I love, because most of the people that I typically am talking to, they were W-2 employees. And so there was this shift that had to happen for them. So you were in traditional business and you spent more time or less time on that traditional business than you do today.
Oh, way more time in my traditional business. Way more time I spent on my traditional business. Less time in this business.
Exactly.
And the write-offs are intense, right? So
yes.
It's fantastic. And that's what I love about it. And I actually teach that. Obviously, I'm not an accountant. That's why I obviously love jumping on with you today. And I never knew this, I remember just when I got paid, from my K1 and then obviously W-2 and all that, I'm like, wow, like 30-40% right off the gate. And then on top of it, you got all these other expenses that you can't write off. When I got involved in this industry the first year, and I went to my accountant and he says, well, Ralph, do you have traveling expenses? Well, yes, I do. Well, do you have car expenses? Well, yes, I do. Do you have clothing and this? And yes, I do. And I'm like, okay, that's all write-off. And I'm like, wow, that's awesome. And I got to keep majority of my money, right? So that was like an eye opener for me. So now I basically say, you want to get in a 1099 business because as a sole proprietor, as an entrepreneur, so it's definitely a fantastic way to create wealth just on its own.
Yes. And the great part is you don't have a lot of overhead. I mean, that's one of the biggest things. So you had, what kind of business was it again?
Car washes.
Car washes. So so you got to, in order for you to create leverage in a car wash, you've got to have employees out washing cars every day or making sure that the car wash is running, right?
And hoping it doesn't rain.
Hoping it doesn't rain, because then it washes itself. And then you have a building that you have to provide for.
100%.
And all of these things. And the funny part is, and this is kind of where it comes from, is you got to have money to make money. Well, you do have to have money to make money if you are in the car wash business.
Correct. 100%. And it comes with so many other different variables. There's times like where weather permitting, or many different businesses, they have their own ups and downs, but these employees still want to get paid. The electric bill got to get paid. The utility bills got to get paid. The mortgages, the rent, repairs, and all these things, they all got to get paid. So entering this arena, I'm like, wow, I don't have overhead. I don't have to worry about brick and mortar. And one thing I want to mention that I think is crucial, we keep on saying the word home-based business. I think we should really change that terminology to everywhere business.
Yes.
In today's world, we have an iPhone or whatever smartphone that you guys use, and you can build your business on the beach. You can build your business, in the bathroom. You can build your business grocery shopping. It's an everywhere business. So, the old terminology of home-based businesses, because, that people, they think, well, I have to stay at home and build my business at home. I build my business driving in my car, right? That's the beautiful thing about having freedom, that you're not stuck at home or stuck at a job, that you can literally create the level of freedom you want and build a business anywhere you want, literally from your phone.
Yes. And you know what's crazy? You're exactly right. And the only reason, we call it home-based business is obviously here's the thing, guys. You're entitled to, when you are a business owner, to massive tax deductions. Well, here's the great part about it. When you have a business that doesn't have a traditional like location, like brick and mortar location, you actually can take advantage of living expenses, things that you're spending money on every single day, and you get to redirect those into business expenses. So I'll give you, for instance, because I'm super excited about it. This past Saturday, we went and bought a truck. I wasn't super excited about the truck, like a 2500, I don't know, Chevrolet, something like that my husband wanted. But he wanted it because we're getting a toy hauler. And we're getting a toy hauler because we're going to travel around the country. And guess what? As long as I have a camera in front of me, which I do, and as long as I have a laptop, and as long as I have a cell phone, I can run my business, because I built my accounting practice exactly the way that network marketers build their business. Like, no one comes to our office, which is great because I can have conversations with them either on Facebook. You can have conversations with people. If you're building network marketing, you could go to a coffee shop. And so what I'm going to do is, those two things are tax deductions for us. And here's the cool part about business, because most people don't understand this. The reason why Amazon has not paid any taxes, like for 20 years, they claim losses on paper. We all know Amazon makes money. That's right. Why, Bezos is like the richest man on the planet, I think, at this point. And why they're looking at now trying to turn it into, considered to be a monopoly, which is super crazy. But here's what happens when Amazon bought a ton of vehicles to replace UPS, and they created their own shipping department. Okay. And so when they did that, they were entitled to take depreciation on vehicles, even if, and 100% in the first year that they bought it, even if they only put a down payment on the vehicle, even if they only signed the papers over that they were buying the vehicles. And so the toy hauler that we're buying is about $68,000. We're obviously not going to put, a huge amount down on that. I don't want to. I'd rather use someone else's money in order to get the financing and keep my money so I can use that to grow my business and also have some more tax deductions. But the truck was also, that's about $65,000. You add those together, that's $132,000, $133,000. I can't remember right this second. Those two things alone, I can write off 100% of those this year against my income from my business. And guess what? That will save me almost $50,000 or $55,000, depending on what tax bracket we hit in this year in taxes. That almost paid for the truck.
Right.
Like, if you understand, like, you can truly have the things that you want in your life if you will attempt. Okay. That's those two words. There's two key words: intent and attempt. My intent of buying a truck and a toy hauler is so I can travel all around the country and I can do these live with Ralph. Like, so if I'm in Texas and Ralph's in Texas, then we can get together and we can do these lives, and I can meet with clients, and I can create this brand of being on the road and being able to build your business all at one time. And network marketers get to do the exact same thing. And so if you understand that becomes worth, it's priceless. It's priceless to be able to not have to go to an office every single day. It is priceless to be able to build a business that your family can be a part of every single day. And I mean, it's just a different world. So tell me kind of your favorite parts about network marketing. Like mine, a lot of it's personal growth and development that I received, but tell me what you love about it. Not, the money, we all know, like, making money is great, and that's what we definitely want to do, and that's the hopes of a lot of people joining network marketing. But a lot of people get in and stay in for completely different reasons than just money.
No, 100%, and it's a breath of fresh air that you, as obviously an accountant, are going live and educating people about this, because a lot of times when you go to your traditional accountant and you say, well, I'm involved in network marketing, what is that, right? So it's fantastic that we obviously have, and we're educating people about obviously these tax breaks. But what I love about network marketing, there's so many magnificent things that I love about network marketing. So there's not one specific thing, but I love the stories. I love the opportunity to change people's lives, right? when you can take, and this has happened to me many, many, many times over the last 12 years I've been involved in this magnificent industry, where you can take somebody that doesn't believe in themselves, and within a year, 2 years, 3 years, you can totally see them transform right before your very eyes. So giving somebody that's ordinary and making them extraordinary, that for me is magnificent. The stories, if you're in the health and wellness, the stories that you hear as far as people's health getting better, right? The magnificent stories we hear. But I think it's a triage of things, the opportunity of how you're a catalyst directly or indirectly to change people's lives, right? So think about this for a second. I share an opportunity with somebody and I'm changing their life and they're inspired, they're motivated, right? And they turn around and they present this opportunity, this magnificent opportunity to other people. They may not, but here's the magnificent thing, they may not get going, but the person that they obviously got on board, they're like, I need this, I'm hungry, I want it, right? And you see this transformation. So, and that person, you know, in your business, you've never met them, you don't have that relationship with them until you start developing it. And then you've basically changed somebody's life that you never had a relationship with. And now you can call them friends and family forever. So the relationships are fantastic. The ability to change people's lives are fantastic, you know, from their health and from their wealth. And obviously going into personal growth, how you change as a human being, you know? So, you know, a majority of people that get involved in network marketing, their why, you know, before they truly understand and define it, is I need to make money, right? Majority of people are like, I need an opportunity to make money. But I think many times as you start building and you really understand the culture, your why changes every year, right? When you start making money and then you have that sense of freedom, you know, when you call residual debt, you know, the scariest things for majority of people in the United States is going to their mailbox, all right? Like they know what's in that mailbox. It's like that ugly thing out there. It's like there's always bills. That's residual debt. That's scary for people because a lot of people that don't make enough money, that becomes a problem. So the opportunity in network marketing is that you can combat that residual debt with residual income. So that's what I love sharing with people. Let's start off and help you get your utility bills paid. Let's if you can do that, then let's get your mortgage paid. If you can do that, then let's get your dream board going. Like what car do you want? You know, what vacation home do you want? And so on and so forth. So these incremental things is a massive booster for people's morale, because once they start doing it, you know, like you said, majority of network marketers get in, you know, with the anticipation making $500 or $600 a month. And then when they realize they did that, then they're inspired and they say, well, wait a minute, if I can do that, then obviously I can do so many other things. So there's so many magnificent, you know, benefits to network marketing.
I love it.
Yeah.
And that's you know, it's so funny. I have people say all the time, can you hear me okay, Ralph? Am I like, okay, great. All right. So, you know, one of the things when I was involved in network marketing, you know, people say, well, not everybody makes money, or, you know, the majority's not making money. Let me explain something to you. The majority is not trying to make money. They're not in it for that reason. 80% of the people that join a network marketing business, I would be willing to say, and I know the statistics are there, they're very, very close, but they're not staying in the network marketing company necessarily to get rich and make millions and millions of dollars. They find a culture and a group of people who are looking to have a better life. And I will tell you that one of the things that I've learned being involved as a platinum partner with Tony Robbins is that you are exactly who the people you hang around with, what their expectations are of you. And if you hang around with people who expect the minimal from you, you will be minimal. If you hang around with people who expect more of you, you will be more. And that's the thing, guys, like it's all about who we hang around with. And so, you know, I stay involved in the network marketing space. One, I love hanging out with these people because they are great people and they care and they value what I'm doing for them. That's why I'm here. Like that's first and foremost. But the other is that I know that if you don't find a way to have some sort of home-based business, you are going to go further and further in debt every single year. And so 2 years ago, you know, tomorrow's like the August 1st is in 2 days. Okay. So 2 years ago in August, I heard some statistics by Grant Cardone and it changed everything in my entire life. I went from, I want a handful of clients paying me $10,000 to $12,000 a month. And I don't want to ever deal with more than, you know, 20 clients ever. I want to just deal with these fractional CFO clients. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to help those people and I'll help their businesses. And when I heard these statistics, I switched everything and I said, you know what? I'm supposed to help the masses. That's what I was put on this earth to do. That is my purpose, is to educate the masses of tax strategy. And so the statistics were that the average household income in America makes $60,000 a year. And they're going to pay $14,000 in taxes. And you can go look these up, because I had to stop my car and look them up on the side of the road when I heard them, because I'd never put them all together in one. And so that means that they're left with a take home of $46,000 for a family of 4 all year long. And the problem with that is that the cost of living in America is $53,000 a year on average. Well, that means that the average person is going in debt $7,000 a year to work every single year, 40 hours a week, 50 weeks a year, to take 2 weeks paid vacation. And if you don't believe me on those statistics, go to usdebtclock.org and you will see that the average person, not taxpayer, the average person, every man, woman, and child in America on average is in debt $70,000. That is the national debt per person on average. So that's why we have such massive student loan debt. That's why we have massive credit card debt. That's why people are broke, is because, and 46% of Americans before this pandemic did not have an extra $400 to their name. And 69% didn't have an extra $1,000 to their name. So the system that we are living in, which the majority are W-2 employees, that system was broken when it was created. And it was created for that purpose. It was created to keep you right where you are. And I want you to understand this. If you don't get anything I share with you today, people don't understand the network marketing industry. People are told something completely different about the network marketing industry. And here's why. As a W-2 employee is the only thing that you can start on a part-time basis, or even as a business owner, start an additional stream of income on a part-time basis that costs a couple of extra $100 to get started, that requires no education, no going into debt for student loan debt, right? But it's a way that you could financially set yourself free and create a residual stream of income, lowering your taxes, because when you receive residual income, it's considered passive income as opposed to ordinary income. You pay a lot less in taxes. And at the end of the day, it's the only way, guys. Like, you know, when you're working every single day, you're tired when you come home. If you could put forth some effort 3 to 5 days a week, 45 minutes a day, building some sort of business, I don't care what that looks like for you. The fact that you do it, I knew when I heard those statistics that I could guarantee that if you were paying taxes, more than $4,000 to $7,000 a year in taxes, if you were paying taxes, I could save between $4,000 and $7,000 a year in taxes just by having some sort of home-based business. And
right.
So you may look at me and say, well, you know, well, how can you guarantee that? Because I did it. Like, I did it for 900 people in the network marketing industry, and I showed them where they were before they had their tax return filed with their business, and I showed them afterwards. So it's not about if you're making a lot of money necessarily in the network marketing business. What you're doing is you get the advantage of being around the right people. You get the right education so that you can grow your business. It's a turnkey operation for a couple $100. You can get started, and all you have to do is promote a product or a service that you're passionate about. And now you are keeping more of your hard-earned money. And I think that's what this whole system is about. It's about, we're going to keep more of our money. We're going to get the education we need. We're going to get around the right people who are going to help us get to the next level because they financially benefit from us. I don't know of any other option that you should be taking at this point in your life, especially with what's going on in the world today, other than the network marketing industry. Maybe you want to come be an accountant. Like, I'm looking for accountants if anybody wants to be one, but that is a lot harder job. So, you know, what is your take on that, Ralph? I know I've just thrown a whole lot, but
no. So my take on it is, you know, we also have to factor in inflation, right? Yeah. We also have to factor in the pandemic that we just went through. When people say, well, I'm a W-2 employee. Well, guess what? For about 6 months, or potentially now, they're estimated, I think in the United States, about 43 million Americans were unemployed. Yeah. And they're saying potentially 40% of the 43 million will never get their job back.
Correct.
That's 16 million people. So, and the interesting thing when you say, you know, that people give you recommendations, like majority of people that don't understand, and we go out there and we join a network marketing company, and then we go out and start asking family and friends, well, what do you think about my new opportunity? Oh my God, I don't think it's going to work. The reason being is you're asking the wrong people, right? So the thing is like, you have your own brain, you have your own level of education. So educate yourself, don't take the opinions of others that have never done it before or have even gotten involved in network marketing and never been successful. Like, why would you do that, right? So I love the opportunity because I think there was an article about a month ago that Forbes magazine came out with and said in the next 5 to 7 years, 80 million Americans, that's a massive amount of Americans, are going to be getting involved in a home-based business.
Yes.
How crazy is that? So right there is a light bulb to click. And then when you start looking at, a lot of these companies, like the big department stores like Nordstrom and Neiman Marcus and Macy's and the list goes on and on and on, declaring bankruptcy. And what they're basically doing is going totally online, right? So what does that go to tell you? You see what happened with Visa, right? Declared its highest growth in the last 4 or 5 months because many Americans, maybe the older community that never wanted to do online product sales or product purchases, whichever it may be, these are all new transactions, millions upon millions of new transactions where people now got involved in e-commerce, right? So the whole world, as we know it, based on this pandemic specifically, has changed people's mindset. And also, and it's crazy. I don't know if it was just meant to be or whatever, but think about even the CEOs of Fortune 500 companies or big companies. They use this specific pandemic as an opportunity to say, well, we used to rent 5 floors in New York City. It used to cost us $200,000 a month in overhead. For the last 4 or 5 months, our employees were working from home. They're doing a fantastic job. And that's why you saw Zoom stock went through the roof. StreamYard became really popular. And they're like, why don't you just stay home? We'll condense. We'll only get 1 floor, maybe a half a floor, and you can work from home. And I've had many people that I've spoken to that turn around and said, well, Ralph, that's happening to me. And I said, well, tell me a little bit more. Like, what else? What did they offer you to stay home? Well, they took away my traveling expense, and they're asking if I can take a 15% pay cut. So I said, okay, so your travel expense is gone because you're not traveling. You get to spend more time with the family. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, right? And then on top of it, they're asking you to take a 15% pay cut because now you don't have to obviously get up and obviously get dressed at 6 o'clock in the morning to go take a bus and a train and everything else. And I said, you couldn't live on 100% of your income. Now you got to live on 15% less. So I think the network marketing opportunity is going to explode. And it's already happened. We've seen it, right? If you look at the numbers, more people got involved in network marketing in the last couple of months than I think in the history of network marketing, because people are beginning to realize that this is a massive option for them, and potentially it's probably one of the only options. That's why some of the Google searches and Facebook searches, majority of the time, are people looking for home-based business opportunities.
Yes, I love it. And I mean, and that's true. I mean, as a W-2 employee, and here's the thing, guys, like, I've had so many people ask me recently, because they're working from home, are we entitled to tax deductions? No, you're not. If you're a home-based business owner, you are entitled to tax deductions for business use of your home. But January 1st, 2018, they came out with the new tax laws, and they did away with business use of your home or unreimbursed employee business expenses for W-2 employees. So there's no tax deduction for you. But the minute you decide, hey, I'm intending to earn an income in this home-based business, and I attempt to earn an income in the home-based business. So attempting is just opening your mouth and telling somebody, I'm in business now, Ralph. Like, if you want to buy from me, buy from me. Like, that's attempting to earn an income. And that's what you do in the network marketing space. Like, you're texting people, you're messaging them on social media, you're reaching out to them, you're creating lives and things like that to just create awareness for who you are so people can see you. And so that's all that network marketing is about, guys. Like, and that's one of the things I want people to understand. The reason why some industries, some companies go the route of network marketing, it's because they have to educate someone, the consumer, on a product or a service. Right. And so you may have
Now we lost your voice. It came on, it came off. It's still off. Oh, I think you muted yourself. There you go.
Nope, it muted it for me. So I'm not going to touch my microphone. But here, so if I had this book, like, this is my book, And I had another book beside it that was a tax book. The benefit of network marketing, what it does is it tells you why you should buy this book as opposed to this other book. That's all it's doing. It's saying, here's this product and here's the benefits of this product as opposed to this product. Because sometimes you may see products on the shelf and they look the same. But if you have the education, you know which product or service is better. And so that's what network marketing does. So, they're providing people with the tools and the system and the growth model for them to be able to go out and share with people a product or a service, make a compensation off of it, and then teach other people how to share the same product or service and make a compensation off of them. It is the smartest, most productive, best way that I believe that you could possibly build any sort of company. And along the way, you've got people who, some are going to want to make money. Some want to make a couple $100 a month. Some, just like Ralph did, some are going to want to make millions of dollars a year or millions a month. And, I get that experience, guys. Like, I see clients from anywhere from just getting started in home-based business. So if you don't believe this is real, I see clients who make $24 million a year in network marketing. And so it is real. And every stage in your life that you want to be at, if you want to make $1,000, if you want to make $100, you can do that. But I want you to understand the benefit to get started is the tax advantages of having a home-based business. When you get started, you realize along the way, oh, I'm getting personal growth and development. Oh, now I can make more money. Now I'm getting better at my skill of sharing this information with someone. But you're also helping change the world at the same time. Because I don't know of any job that I can get involved in that I can help someone who works alongside me, teach them the same information and help them make more money than I ever made, because their efforts are stronger than my efforts.
Right. And one thing also about network marketing, as far as products or services they provide, generally they're a lot better.
Yes.
Than some of the consumer products that you find on the shelf. And the reason why they need people like us and like you and so many other marketers is to educate the public, to educate their friends and family, right? And it keeps them legitimate, because there are other companies that may provide the same type of product, and network marketing companies are always competing for that space, right? Let's just say it's health and wellness, whichever it may be. So they're always going to provide a much better product than you can buy on the store shelf, right? Yeah. And when you think of it, they could have turned around a lot of these network marketing companies and hired somebody like a famous person or whatever to advertise their products. But what has happened in the world that we know it, there's, even when you look on social media, like Facebook, for instance, right? A lot of people say, as they post on their timeline, I'm looking for a plumber, somebody reputable, somebody that's obviously honest, right? Because a lot of people, what are you going to do? Open up the yellow pages and get a recommend. Then they get a guy that says, oh, your sink is no good, but all they needed to change is maybe a gasket, right? So everybody's always asking for recommendations. And what our business model is that we're friends and family. We educate our friends and family about the products and services we're promoting, and we teach other people how to do the same, right? So there's a lot of people doing very little, and that's how you grow a magnificent business, right? And it's very sticky. And that's the beautiful thing about it. It's very sticky when you have a relationship with the person you're providing service for.
I love it. And here's the one thing I want to share with people, because most people will say, well, I'm losing money, or you typically have like a spouse. Sometimes spouses are not on board with people being in network marketing, and so they're saying, well, my wife or my husband, they're losing money, but it's losing money on paper. What I want you to understand is what I've found is that the average person, by having some sort of home-based business, has between $20,000 and $25,000 a year worth of deductions that were living expenses, not extra expenses. These are things like meals, mileage, cell phone, internet, business use of home, medical bills, medical insurance, travel, hiring your kids. You can actually pay your kids. So instead of giving them things, you hire them and pay them, and then that's a tax deduction for you. So all these things, minimum, I see is $20,000 to $25,000 a year in tax deductions. Well, here's the thing: if you're making $15,000 to $20,000 a year in your network marketing business, you're not paying taxes on the $15,000 to $20,000 a year, because the expenses that you had yesterday, not extra expenses, those expenses are now business deductions, and they take over your income that you make from the business. And guess what? You just made 15 to 20 grand free and clear. You don't have to pay any taxes on it. And you still show a loss on paper. And that loss on paper can offset any other income that you actually have, saving and keeping you more of your hard-earned money. Guys, I can't impress upon you any more than understanding that. And I know the mass majority of people who get started, they're W-2 employees, and they say, well, I can't let go of my secure job. I spoke to a network marketer last night, multiple six-figure income earner, and she was in corporate America. She was making six figures, every single year. She couldn't afford to pay her $109,000 worth of student loan debt that she received to get an MBA, so that she could then go make six figures, so that she could then pay 40 to 50% of every dollar she made in taxes, and to not be able to pay her student loan debt. Like, does it make any sense at all that we would be focused on something that doesn't allow us to create any sort of residual income? And I just want you to see that. I want people to see that as a W-2 employee, you have no say-so in how much taxes you make. If you make money, if you make $1, you're going to be taxed on it. The more money you make, the more you get taxed on the more money that you make. It's just super crazy. Whereas business owners, we're just in a different tax structure. So last thoughts, Ralph, people sitting on the fence, or people that, see this as just not a great opportunity. Like, what would you like to say to the audience today to just kind of help them understand why they'd be brain dead, not doing a home-based business?
Well, here's the thing, unless you're happy, like a really, really happy in a certain position that you are in your life, financially, emotionally, physically, spiritually, whatever, then great. Then just stay where you are, and that's fine. But if you're not happy, but you're also debating in your own mind, like, should I get in? Should I not get in? Sometimes we have to take a leap of faith. That's what I say. Take a leap of faith. The worst case scenario, let's just say you get involved in the health and wellness arena. You get involved and you're in. Number one, you're a 1099 employee. So now you're in a home-based business. You're using magnificent products, right? So you're getting healthier, right? And then you start learning some of the tax deductions that obviously Courtney's talking about. Now you're getting wealthier by default. So the thing is like, if you're sitting there and you're just contemplating and say, should I, shouldn't I? Well, here's the thing. I listen to so many great inspirational speakers, because that's obviously part of personal development. So one thing that I listened to very recently is Steve Harvey, right? This is biblical, and I'm not a religious person, and don't think I'm not weird. So he says the folding of hands, the thief of the night will strike you with poverty, right? If you're not willing to learn, but you are struggling financially, and you're also saying no at the same time, then you'll get what you deserve, right? But if you're willing to learn and take the leap of faith, then you'll get what you deserve, right? So I tell everybody, listen, we all have opportunity, right? Jim Rohn says the wind of opportunity blows on us all. It's how we set our sail. So take this level of knowledge, take the time that Courtney is putting out and teaching and educating thousands and tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people are going to be watching this over time, and say to yourself, well, if I don't do that, I'll keep on getting what I got. But if I do that, then maybe my life can change forever, right? So the last thought is that, and the last thought is get in, right? Just do it. Just get in and do it. Like, what do you have to lose? Even if you get in small, like there's so many network marketing companies that allow you to get in for $100, $200. It's not going to kill you. But see the benefits of the product, see the benefits of the industry, see the benefits of the opportunity. More importantly, see the benefits of how it can change your life. And you can understand something. If you're getting in, like Courtney says, majority of people, and I know this industry is dominated mainly by women, 80%, 75% women. And a lot of women get in just to have an extra income, right? So they don't have to nag their spouse and say, hey, I want to go buy shoes or nails or whatever, right? So that's a relatively easy way to go in and get started. And I'll tell you, I know a lot of women that are in this network marketing space that got in with that level of mindset, and now they're some of the biggest names in this industry, making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month because they believed in themselves, right? Yeah. Well, believe in yourself. So the end story is believe in yourself.
Yeah, I love that. And then the next time your spouse says that your network marketing company is costing us money, tell them that that's just on paper, honey. What it's doing is actually it's helping you keep more of your money. So I'm doing you a favor because I was going to buy this product or service anyway because it's amazing.
Right.
And that's what people, it's just the lack of education. So I'm so grateful that I had you on, Ralph. I typically don't post this, like I posted in the link, but here's a free download for my book. I've got a second book coming out here in the next couple weeks. I'm super excited about it, but it's More Relaxing, Less Taxing, Why You Be Brain Dead, Not Own a Home-Based Business. And you can download that for free. Just go here, type in the link and download that and share it with as many people as you want to share it with, because at the end of the day, guys, it is our duty. It is our mission in life. It is our purpose. We should be helping other people as much as we possibly can. And Zig Ziglar said it best. If you help enough people get exactly what they want, you'll automatically get what you want. So regardless of what someone says and how they react when you share this information with them, go out and share it based upon with your heart that you're going to help someone not only be able to save money in taxes, because we know that's the guarantee, but they're also going to, potentially find amazing people to hang around with, be a part of something that can grow their mindset and put them in a different financial position than they were yesterday. So there is nothing you can lose in the network marketing industry. Sure. Like there just isn't. Like, I mean, you may spend a couple $100, but you're going to buy that product anyway. So you can't lose in the network marketing industry. You can only gain. And whatever you put in, I can guarantee you'll get that 10 times back out. So I thank you so much, Ralph. I appreciate you being on this live with me today on what's your plan B and why you would be brain dead not own a home-based business.
For sure. Awesome. I appreciate it. Appreciate having me here.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.